Be unpredictable. Throw in some surprising fact, a sudden question, or a change of direction to keep people on their toes. And keep your listeners guessing a little. Keep them locked in.
People love feeling like you're speaking with them and not at them. Read the room and adjust if needed. Very often I used to do the Superman pose, which is like when you stand broad with your shoulders and you kind of rest your hands on your waist and you look up, because when your chest is up, you signalize to your brain a lot of confidence, but it comes from inside. It's all neuroscience.
I think a lot about the Kamaru Usman, and I feel that I have become very good at it. So if I mess something up now, I think, okay, good, I will do it good from now, and I just keep going, and I not use a lot of energy about thinking about it. But before I will lose a lot of energy and why I did it, I shouldn't do that. But no, I just I learn now. Okay, I will do better. Keep going. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Are you entertained? Great, me too. Today's episode is about how to entertain when you talk. Tired of watching people's eyes glaze over when you speak? Yeah, we all been there. But guess what? Being entertaining isn't just for stand-up comedians or TikTok stars. In today's episode, we are giving you the secret sauce to keep your conversation lively, funny, and unforgettable. Get ready to ditch the boring talk and become the person everyone actually want to listen to. Let's have some fun. Your upgrade starts now. And a great way to do this is to tell stories, not just facts. And humans, we love stories because they're so memorable and emotional. And share a personal experience, funny moments, or relatable struggles. And another great way is to use vivid details to paint the picture, not just explain it. You have to relive the story and your experience, and take the person you're talking to inside your story together with you. And use humor, small jokes, and playful comments, or self-deprecating humor. Then you will become more likable. Keep it natural and do not force it. And vary your voice and energy. Avoid speaking in a flat and monotone voice. Today I wake up and I went outside and I run a trip, and when I come back I went up and did my push-ups. Speak monotone like this is so boring. I sound like a robot. You have to vary your voice and energy. For example, if I'm gonna talk about something very exciting. Okay, do you know what? You know what I did see today? I actually did see. And then I speak more quickly and I have more energy. Or for example, okay, I'm gonna tell you something very important. Then I slow down, I speak more slowly, so I empathize the things I'm gonna say. So vocal variety is the key.
Definitely. This point is so important. As my brothers say, you have to vary your tone. I've been in some lectures at the university that has been of extremely well-educated teachers, very educational. The knowledge that they have, I wish I could just absorb it all. But if they've had a very monotone voice, I've even experienced that I've fallen asleep during a lecture, because you just, no matter how important the topic is and how knowledgeable they are, if they're not able to perform it in a good way, it is extremely hard to absorb it. So unfortunately, a lot of that information has just gone missing because of the monotone voice. So please avoid that. You should actually think of your voice like music. You should mix it up. You have to vary it, as my brothers say, with the speed. Get louder when you're excited, or slow down to emphasize an important point. We talked a lot about this in episode 59 as well, how to improve your conversations. So I suggest that you go and check it out again if you haven't already done it. And another very important point is to stay passionate and engaged. If you're excited about what you're saying, other people will feel it. And the way that you can transform the message or deliver the message is a lot more real when you connect it to your passion. The thing is that enthusiasm is contagious. Speak about topics that you generally care about whenever it is possible.
And use body language and facial expression. For example, smile, gesture, have a naturally gesture, and maintain good eye contact. Even over webcam. And that is something me and Annika is working about now. It's so easy for us to just look at the screen and look at each other, but we try now, as I do now, to look inside the web camera, because then we can look on you and it will become more engaging. So we try to have that in our mind all the time now. Have to upper our game all the time.
Always. What is it that you say, Canny? Constant and never-ending improvement.
Yes, that's a great one.
So that is something we always keep in the back of our minds in all aspects of this business, but also in everything else that we do. And we have talked a lot about body language earlier in the podcast as well, and it is extremely important. Your body can tell the story along with your words. Open, expressive body language makes you more dynamic and trustworthy.
And be unpredictable. Throw in some surprising fact, a sudden question, or a change of direction to keep people on their toes. And keep your listeners guessing a little. Keep them locked in. And about listening, I actually like to listen to myself, to sit down and listen to myself, because I'm so funny, so smart, and I know so many things. No, I'm not a narcissist. Oh, I'm joking. I not do that.
You should also focus on your audience. Tailor your energy, stories, and humor to them, not just to yourself. People love feeling like you're speaking with them and not at them. Read the room and adjust if needed. All of this, entertaining and communication, it is really about connection. When you care about the audience, tell great stories, and bring your real energy, you naturally become unforgettable. Laughter is very contagious. The energy that you have is very contagious. I often think of it like you can walk into a room and kind of flip on the light switch with your energy, with your body language, with how you come across. So think about this. When you enter a room, what vibe are you bringing with you? What is the purpose of your entrance? Do you need to switch on the light? If it's dark, someone has to switch it on. It might as well be you. So I want to remind you again, you should focus on telling story that you find genuinely funny. Laugh while you tell these stories so you don't get misunderstood, and make it real. Be real. Then it's a lot easier to do all of these things. So be yourself and train yourself up to do all of these things more naturally. And another great tip is to watch something funny before you go to social situations. It makes the future laugh come easier. Big stand-up comedians always have other ones to warm up before they go on the stage. This is so that the audience can loosen up and laugh more. They also watch clips of the type of humor that they like before they go on, so it's easier for them to be funny. This is something you should do as well, to kind of loosen up and to get your brain to think in that certain mode, in that certain humor.
And I have a couple of podcast rituals. One, I use 10 minutes to warm up my voice, because I know my voice is so weird and annoying. So I have to try to make it as good as possible. But the other ritual I have is same as Annika talked about. Before the big stand-up comic come to the scene, you have another people warm up the people and make them in the laughing state, as Annika just say. And before we start this podcast, I used to look funny and good videos of funny people who are great speakers, like Andrew Tate, Joe Rogan, and Theo One. So before we start recording this now, I used to sit in 10 minutes to look at a good speaker, and that they laugh, and I laugh a lot, and I get in the good mood. So I'm ready for recording, and then I feel the episode flows better.
I think it is a great tip, and I do it a lot when I'm fighting. All the time when I travel out to the arena, or if I go abroad and I travel for a weekend, all the time I'm just in that zone. I don't do anything except from just looking at videos that motivates me, fighters that I look up to, all of these kind of things, because you have to enter that character of yours. And that takes some work. And especially if you have a big test like that, you should really go into that zone, work on yourself, enter that state of mind that you need to be in.
Yeah, it's absolutely great. Then you are inside the zone, inside the circle, and you fully motivated, fully focused. So nothing else can steal your energy and your thought. So I think it's a great way to do it.
Absolutely. And I just want to very briefly remind everyone again, I have talked about it earlier, but for new listeners as well, very often I used to do the Superman pose, which is like when you stand broad with your shoulders and you kind of rest your hands on your waist and you look up, because when your chest is up, you signalize to your brain a lot of confidence, but it comes from inside. It's all neuroscience. So when you do this, you kind of tap into a confidence that's very real. So after I've done my ritual, going through my kind of stuff, my thoughts, my build up, all of these things, this is what I do just for the body language, the very few seconds before I go into the octagon or the ring to fight. And this is something that could help you be more entertaining when you talk as well, because you just have to know what your task is and then do this. And then think to yourself, I am very entertaining. I am very funny, because you tap into what you believe. So your self-talk and your body language has to be combined to the person that you are, or that you want to tap in, the character you want to tap into. So remember this. This can be a very helpful tool, and you can do it anywhere you want.
Yeah, great tips. Absolutely. And motion create emotion. So as you say, when you change your body language, this is motion, you move, and then you create emotion inside yourself. And if you combine that with self-talk, it will be great. You will perform much better.
Definitely. And if you sit like this and kind of hide yourself, you're kind of crooked in your back and you make yourself very small, you will be insecure. And if you're already insecure, you're just confirming it. You're going in a circle, not going anywhere. So you have to kind of break out of that pattern. If things are difficult, if you're talking before a crowd, or if you have a meeting where you need your courage, do these kind of things only for a few seconds or a minute. Stand like this with that body language, have that motion, as my brothers say, because you need it to kind of kickstart the results that you want to get in return.
Yeah, and this make me think about the UFC champ Kamaru Usman, one of the greatest welterweight fighter ever. Great fighter. And he was very good to reset himself. That was one of his superpower. If him doing something very bad and mess up something, he was so good to just reset himself and just still fighting and don't think and dwell about what happened. So that's a great one. Reset yourself and keep going.
Definitely. You and me studied one of his fights because you told me this. And you don't really see the reset, but you can see it in his eyes that he's just completely sharp again. No, he's not affected by anything. So we studied this, and this is something that I have to remind myself a lot in sparring. So that is a great energy, a great character to study, but also a great tip to just kind of move forward. Always move forward.
Yeah, it was a great tip. I think a lot about what him done there, and before too in my life, often if I do something wrong, I often think, oh, that's annoying me. I shouldn't do that. But I work about this one for some years also, and think a lot about the Kamaru Usman, and I feel that I have become very good at it. So if I mess something up now, I think, okay, good, I will do it good from now, and I just keep going, and I not use a lot of energy about thinking about it. But before I will lose a lot of energy and why I did it, I shouldn't do that. But no, I just, okay, I learn now, okay, I will do better, keep going, and I not think about it anymore. So just take that from his mindset. If someone say some comments about you and try to make fun of you, play along with it. If the person said, you are so weird, what is wrong with you? You could replay, you and my mom will become best friends because my mom said exactly the same. I know you have right.
That is a very good point. How you answer back is an important factor.
Yes.
And don't be boring. It is a killer of a conversation. Attention is currency. If you can't hold it, you can't influence it. People are less engaging because they are predictable, monotone, and disconnected. So reflect upon this. People engage when something disrupts their expectations. So often it is a good thing to start with a contrast. Use a question or a bold statement or even a surprising fact. You will catch people's engagement by doing these things.
What if I told you that to be entertaining is not a personality trait? It is actually a skill you can learn yourself. See how this captures your attention. Use powerful pauses. Most people rush through their words, but silence creates anticipation, and a well-placed pause can make people lean in.
Because when you said it like that, you were talking very slowly. I was like 101% sharp. I was like, okay, now something very important is coming. So it is a very powerful tool.
Yeah, absolutely. You change your vocal variety. Yeah, you vary your tone, and then something different happen. Yeah, in the way you speak, and then people will listen more because you cannot speak flat the same all the time. You have to up and down. So that's important.
Definitely. Because when that contrast comes, you really capture everyone's attention.
Yeah, absolutely. And speak and say things and just take a pause so people can think a little bit and then you talk again. I'm working on this because often I speak too quickly and get too engaging, but I try to take more pauses. So that's something I will have in my mind.
That is very good. And I think it is very important to make the conversations about the people that you're talking to. People care more about what connects to their own life. So also, instead of saying, let me tell you what I think, shift to, have you ever noticed how that small change pulls your audience into the story in a much deeper way?
This episode was recorded May 1st, 2025. In the show note, you will find a link to our homepage, the101percentpodcast.com, where you can subscribe to a free weekly amazing newsletter, donate some little bit money to our podcast, and all the information about subscription you need. We share for you. Take care, be entertaining, and give it your best. If you like this episode, please share it with a friend. It is important for us to get out our message so we can help as many people as possible. And we will highly appreciate it if you could take 1 minute of your time to follow us on social media and review the show on Apple Podcast and Spotify. All links are below. Our Instagram is the 101% podcast. Until next time, take care and go 101% into achieving your goals. You owe it to yourself.